Salam, my name is Hunter and I am a white guy who became Muslim, and here is an interesting historical fact that I don't think many people realize. When you take an academic look at the New Testament, you realize that about 28% of it comes directly from Paul, and about half of it is attributed to him. And the wild thing is, Paul didn't even meet Jesus while he was alive. In fact, according to Paul's own accounts, Paul persecuted the early followers of Jesus. And something that always astounded me as a former Catholic is the church bureaucracy that exists, because Jesus nowhere talks about that. He doesn't appoint bishops, he doesn't issue sacraments. The one verse people point to, and especially Catholics, is the Peter passage where Jesus says, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." First of all, he's literally on a rock when he says that, so he could be referring to the rock, and other than that, he's just highlighting Peter's emphasized role. But most scholars agree it doesn't map onto later church hierarchy. Historically, early Christianity wasn't one unified church. The entire history of Christianity is almost one group declaring heresy over the other. It was many communities with different teachings, different texts, and different leadership styles. But Paul is the earliest figure giving structure. He's appointing elders, he's advising communities, and setting doctrine. In fact, his letters in the New Testament are the first Christian writings we have. They were even earlier than the Gospels. About 250 so years down the road, when Christianity becomes tolerated, the Roman Empire starts gathering councils, and they define orthodoxy and turns bishops into state administrators. That is when the real clerical class appears. And that is also when doctrines like the Trinity are also really solidified. And this is exactly why Islam presents itself as the final revelation. A preserved text, a stable community structure, and no priesthood that can rewrite doctrine. It's meant to restore the original prophetic message.